Hello students, in this lecture we will be seeing about projection. Projection is a technique or a process to transform a 3D object into a 2D plane. It's of two types, parallel projection and perspective projection. Let's see the difference between parallel and perspective projection now. Parallel projection represents object like telescope, whereas perspective projection represents object in three-dimensional way. Parallel projection, these effects are not created here. Let's see the thing here. Objects that are far away appear smaller and objects that are nearer appear bigger in perspective projection, but it is not implied here. Next point, the distance of an object from the center of projection is infinite in parallel and finite in perspective projection. It gives the accurate view of an object, but in perspective cannot give accurate view. Lines are parallel here in parallel projection, whereas in perspective projection they are not parallel. It does not give or form any realistic view of any object, but perspective projection forms realistic view of an object. It preserves the relative proportion of an object, but perspective projection cannot preserve the relative proportion of an object. Let's see parallel and perspective projection in detail. Projection is mapping 3D points to a 2D plane. Parallel projection is used by architects and engineers for creating drawings. It displays pictures in its true shape and size. This parallel projection is of two types, orthographic and oblique, and it is further divided into these subdivisions. Orthographic into top, front and side, and axonometric, and again this axonometric orthographic parallel projection is further divided into three types, isometric, dimetric and trimetric. Similarly, oblique parallel projection is of two types, cavalier and cabinet. Similarly, perspective is of three types, 1 point perspective projection, 2 point and as well as 3 point. Okay, now we will see parallel in detail. When projectors are perpendicular to view plane, it is called orthographic projection. Its categories are top view, front view and side view orthographic projection. Axonometric is further divided into isometric, dimetric and trimetric. Isometric projection, all projections make equal angles, generally 30 degree. Dimetric projection, here two projectors are have equal angles. And trimetric projection, direction of projection makes unequal angle with their principal axis. In oblique type, oblique parallel projection, it's of two types, cavalier and cabinet. Cavalier projection, all lines perpendicular to the projection plane are projected with no change in length, whereas in cabinet, all lines perpendicular to the projection plane are projected to 1/2 of their length. In Cavalier, the length of reading axis is larger than cabinet. Now let's see perspective projection. Perspective projection, here the distance is finite. It is used by architects in preparing drawing of 3D objects and scenes. Some terms we need to know which is related to perspective are view plane, center of projection and projectors. Under 3-dimensional concepts, this projection is a very important topic and hope you understood this. Thank you.